Hello and welcome to the next part in our wonderful symposium. So you want to write a Wikipedia page. My name's Josh Langfus. I'm a third-year grad student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And today I'm going to talk to you about how we can use Wiki to disseminate psychological science and make meaningful edits on the platform. So our agenda for today, first I'm going to try to convince you, if you weren't convinced already, why we should care about Wikipedia. Then I'm going to do some disambiguation of Wikipedia versus Wikiversity. Then I'm going to talk about how to create an account, edit pages, engage with the Wikipedia community, and then end with some Wiki Dos and Wiki Don'ts. I'm going to be going very quickly through these slides, but since this recording is going to be available afterwards, you'll be able to go back through and look at the slides in more detail. And just a note, I'm going to use the term wiki to refer to several different platforms that are sponsored by the Wikimedia Foundation. These include Wikipedia and Wikiversity, but wiki is actually a more general term for any collaborative platform where users are also editors. You can find out more about that on the very helpful Wikipedia page about Wiki. So why should we care about Wikipedia? Well, it is the 14th most visited site on the global internet. It's more popular than Zoom, it's more popular than Instagram, and it's more popular than any of our personal web pages, mine included. Also, people go to Wikipedia for health advice. 1 in 3 Americans in 2013 went to the internet for health advice, and only half followed up with a professional afterwards. And the content on Wikipedia is actually pretty good. It's been compared as equivalent to that of for-profit encyclopedias, and it's only been getting better through partnerships with people like the Cochrane Medical Database. And there are also very stringent community standards for what kind of information can be included on Wikipedia, particularly for topics related to healthcare. Everything in this talk is going to be about Wikipedia, but the hard skills like creating an account and editing pages is also going to be applicable to Wikiversity. And Wikiversity is where a lot of HGAPS's dissemination takes place. What's Wikipedia versus Wikiversity? For the purposes of disseminating psychological science, we really think of Wikipedia as being publicly facing and Wikiversity as being more oriented towards students, researchers, and clinicians. That's because Wikipedia is the online encyclopedia, whereas Wikiversity is more of a teaching and educational tool. It's also easier to make edits on Wikiversity, whereas on Wikipedia, many other editors will be monitoring your content to make sure that it is accurate and up to Wikipedia's standards. So how do you create an account? First, go to wikipedia.org. Then you can click on the Create Account button. That'll take you to a page here that allows you to select a username and password. It's worth considering whether you want your username to be anonymous or not. There are pros and cons either way. Some researchers in particular like to have their Wikipedia identity connected to their real-life identity. This adds credence or transparency to the edits that you make. Other people really value their privacy online. Everything on the internet is public forever, and so you just might want to consider the pros and cons of doing that. There are no penalties for being anonymous on Wikipedia. The other editors take you totally seriously, even if your name is made up. So once you create an account, you'll want to do the Wikipedia Adventure. This is a built-in learning module that walks you through the basics of editing pages, creating your talk page. That's how other users interact with you. And you get to earn some neat-looking badges. But since you're here and not there, I'm going to talk you through the basics. So first, editing a page. What's interesting about Wikipedia is that every page is actually 2 pages. There's the article page, that's where the resource is. That's what you probably think of as the Wikipedia page. And then there's the talk page. For most articles on Wikipedia, before an edit gets made to the actual article, people talk about it, editors talk about it on the talk page to discuss how to make those changes and reach consensus about what information to include. How do we edit pages on Wikipedia? Well, for both article pages and talk pages, you can use these 3 buttons up at the top. The first tab is the default, that's read. It allows you to view the resource. The next option allows you to edit. I'll get back to that in just a second. And the third option allows you to view the history of all the edits and changes that have been made to that page since it was created. This is really handy for seeing who added what or how the pages changed over time. The talk page is where Wikipedians gain consensus. And talk pages exist both for articles on Wikipedia as well as for users, the pages of individual users. You see here on the left, I have the talk page for the General Behavioral Inventory Wikipedia article. On the right, this is the talk page for my user page. My user page, people can leave me messages that I can read and respond to, and the talk page of the article is where editors can discuss what information to include or if changes need to be made. To add something to either of these talk pages, you can edit it just like you would any other Wikipedia page by clicking on the edit button. So there are two basic ways to edit the page once you click on the edit button. There's source editing. With source editing, you're changing the page using a kind of hybrid between HTML and Markdown language that Wikipedia platform understands. You'll see here, for example, the word definition is surrounded by equal signs. That means it makes it a level 2 heading on the page. This was the original way of editing Wikipedia, and many people are comfortable with it already. But new users often have a hard time learning the syntax, and so we often recommend people use the visual editor. This turns the article into a page that looks like a Word document or any other text editor document. And you can add text and change formatting, add links, basically do anything you could do on the code version in this view as well. And it's a little bit more familiar and user-friendly. So now we've talked a little bit about editing pages. How do you choose what page to edit? Well, the Wikipedia community has organized itself into wiki projects. These are people who, users who have similar interests and want to improve pages around a certain topic, such as psychology. And they collect pages related to that topic and rate them according to importance and quality. I'm just going to jump into this briefly because there's a lot here, but you can find out more about this on Wikipedia. So importance is kind of what it sounds like. It's how central is this page to the content of this topic. So for example, CBT might be a really top priority, top importance article for therapy. Quality is a completely separate dimension, and that refers to how good is the article that was written. So you can imagine a really important article that's not very well written might get a C or a stub rank. And these quality ratings go from stub, which is when a page is just barely started, it's got a tiny amount of information on it, all the way up through C, B, GA means good article, A is even better than that, and then you have featured articles, FA or a featured list sometimes. And those are really the best of what Wikipedia has to offer and is on par with any kind of professional encyclopedic publication. So we want to move articles up the quality chain. Some editors start at the bottom and work on getting pages from being stubs to being C-level articles. Editors start at the top and they go for C and B level articles and try to move them up to be featured or good. Both the ways completely valid methods for improving the content on the platform. And wiki projects collate information about pages related to that project into a grid like this, where it ranks pages according to, or categorizes pages according to quality and importance. This grid here is from the Wiki Project Psychology. So you can see that Wiki Project Psychology has relatively few articles in the top priority featured article space. Most of the articles in this project are in the B or C or even starter range and are mid to low importance. We can improve the overall quality within the project by moving articles up in quality and also by contributing articles of greater importance. So now that you know what page to edit and you have an idea of how to edit, here are some general guidelines, some do's and don'ts. So first, do contribute original writing, summaries, or explanations of existing works, and cite those sources on the platform. Do not copy and paste copyrighted content or other published work without permission. The reason for this is because Wikipedia is an open source Creative Commons licensed platform. Everything on there has to be in the public domain, and so it will get taken down very quickly if it's seen as plagiarism. And they use digital tools like Turnitin to verify that. Try not to make your first Wikipedia page about your research or about a living person. That could raise concerns about conflict of interest if you're promoting your own work. And there are also very strict guidelines for writing about living people due to issues of slander and libel. A great way to start is, as I mentioned, going to the Wiki project page and finding low quality articles or short articles and trying to improve them. Taking a stub up to a C-level article is a great way to make a contribution. You can also, if you do want to start an article, it's a good idea to start with something that maybe isn't related to your research, like a geographic feature, or write about trains, or somebody who's no longer alive. And you can use your sandbox to start drafting that page, to ask for help from other people and discuss it before it goes up on the main Wikipedia platform and is available to all people. You can access your sandbox just right at the top of the page by clicking the sandbox button. And sandbox articles, once they're in a reasonable state of completion, can be moved over to Wikipedia without a problem. So wrapping it all up with a bow, why should we care about Wikipedia? Because a lot of people look at it, and people look at it for health information. And Wikipedia has a search optimization agreement with Google and the other major search engines, such that if you type in keywords into Google, a lot of times a Wikipedia article is among the first page of results. There are several different wiki platforms. Wikipedia is the encyclopedia. It's got a broad audience. Can be harder to make edits stick there, whereas Wikiversity is, for our purposes, directed more towards clinicians and researchers or students. It's an educational tool, and there's a little bit more freedom to roam. When you create an account, be mindful of whether or not to use your real name. There are pros and cons either way, and there's no problem with wanting to have a little bit of security there. And finally, you can use wiki projects like the Wiki Project Psychology to pick pages to edit and use the quality and importance assessment to target your efforts. And last but not least, be bold. Wikipedia works because people collaborate and spend their time and effort in making articles good, and you can be part of that process by helping give away psychological science.